Something very interesting is starting to happen with the Tennessee Titans, and most NFL fans haven't noticed it yet. Because while everyone focuses on quarterbacks, draft picks, and big-name trades, the Titans might quietly be trying to fix one of the biggest weaknesses on their entire roster: the secondary. And now, a potential move involving veteran cornerback Kenny Moore is starting to make a lot of sense. At first, some fans might not think this is a massive story, but when you really look at the direction this organization is heading, this could actually tell us a lot about what the Titans are trying to become under Robert Saleh. Because this offseason has already been full of changes: new coaching philosophy, new front office structure, new defensive identity, and now the Titans are clearly trying to build a smarter, tougher, more disciplined football team. Not just talented, structured. And that's where Kenny Moore becomes interesting. Because this isn't just about adding another player. It's about adding experience, leadership, consistency, and someone who understands how to play in a serious defensive system. For years, Kenny Moore has been one of the more respected defensive backs in the NFL. Not always the biggest name, not always the flashiest player, but reliable, physical, smart, and exactly the kind of veteran teams bring in when they want stability. And honestly, that's something Tennessee has been missing. Over the last few seasons, the Titans' defense has had moments where it looked dangerous. But then the inconsistency would show up again. Missed coverages, communication problems, breakdowns late in games. And against elite quarterbacks in today's NFL, that becomes a huge problem very quickly. Because modern NFL offenses attack confusion. And if your secondary isn't organized, disciplined, experienced, you get exposed fast. That's why this possible move feels different. Because Robert Saleh's defenses have always depended heavily on discipline and communication. Everybody knowing their assignment. Everybody understanding the system. Everybody trusting each other. And Kenny Moore fits that style perfectly. He's the type of player coaches trust immediately. A veteran presence. A high football IQ player. Someone who can help stabilize younger defensive backs. And for a Titans team still trying to build a long-term identity, that matters more than people realize. But there's another reason this move makes sense. The AFC is getting more dangerous every single year. Look at the quarterbacks Tennessee has to deal with. Young, explosive offenses, faster receivers, aggressive passing attacks. You cannot survive in today's NFL with an average secondary anymore. And the Titans know that, especially after making multiple offseason changes already. Because this doesn't feel like a team that wants to rebuild slowly forever. This feels like an organization trying to accelerate the process. Trying to become competitive faster, trying to establish a culture before frustration starts growing again. And honestly, Titans fans have already been through enough uncertainty. Over the last several years, there have been flashes of potential, moments where it looked like Tennessee was about to take the next step. But then injuries happened, coaching instability happened, roster issues showed up, and suddenly the team would fall right back into questions and inconsistency. That's why this offseason feels so important. Because now there's pressure. Pressure on the coaching staff. Pressure on the front office. Pressure on the young players. And pressure to prove that this new direction is actually real. Not just another offseason storyline. Signs someone like Kenny Moore. It sends a message. A message that the Titans are serious about fixing the details. Not just chasing headlines. Not just trying to win the offseason, but actually trying to build a defense that can survive deep into the season, and maybe even compete against the best teams in the AFC. Now obviously, one player alone doesn't fix everything, and Titans fans know that better than anyone. There are still questions across this roster, still concerns about depth, still uncertainty about how quickly this team can truly improve. But sometimes the smartest moves are the smaller ones. The moves casual fans ignore at first. The moves that quietly change the culture inside a locker room. And Kenny Moore could absolutely be that type of move. especially with Robert Saleh trying to reshape the identity of this defense. Because when you really think about it, this isn't just about one player. It's about what kind of football team the Titans want to become. Disciplined, physical, reliable, competitive, or stuck in the same cycle of inconsistency that's frustrated fans for years. That's the real story here. And honestly, the 2026 season might answer all of those questions. Because if these off-season moves start working, if the defense improves, if the secondary becomes more stable, if the team finally starts looking organized every single week, then maybe Titans fans finally have something real to believe in again. But if the same problems continue showing up, then all these moves will just feel like another temporary reset. And that's why this possible Kenny Moore move matters more than people think. So now the question becomes simple. Would Kenny Moore actually change this defense? Or are the Titans still missing something bigger? You think. And subscribe for more Tennessee Titans coverage and NFL breakdowns.